Coach Deborah has a passion and purpose to assist young men, ages 15 to 24, to overcome obstacles and build their best lives. She wants to see every young man live out their potential. She has a master's degree in human services counseling, with a major in life coaching. More importantly, she is the mother of 3 boys, who are exceptional, educated, professional men. Coach Deborah believes it is better to train early, rather than need to fix later. She utilizes basic principles and God-led concepts. Sometimes the only thing a young man has is their credibility or their name. The actions they take are based on the decisions they make. Those decisions align with their choices and result in consequences. Coach Deborah can assist you if you are lost, floundering, or confused. Embrace the help and start building your best life today.
Excuse me. Good morning and welcome to Real Talk with Deborah and Anastasia. Hi, Anastasia.
Good morning. How are you, Miss Deborah?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am good.
Good. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Excuse me. I know it's summertime and everybody's busy, vacationing and having fun, family reunion. So we appreciate you tuning in this morning. Good morning, Curly. Thank you for tuning in. Well, this month we're talking about reaching out dads. And so our topic this morning is still about dads. And we are winding up the month of July. But this morning we're going to be talking about a topic that I think is essential as we work with young men and for not only dads, but moms as well, to understand how important it is to pay attention to your young people. When I say pay attention, that doesn't mean, I know that they are at home, I'm still responsible for them, but what are you doing? What kind of attention are you paying? And in researching, I found out that there are different types of attention. But parents today, I know it's a different world, and parents get really, really busy taking those business trips, working remotely. Some may have multiple gigs, a lot of single parents, as well as having outside activities, but you have to take time to get involved with the children. So, are you present with others? Are you really present when you're with that child? Now, attention is notice taken of someone or something. The regarding of someone or something as interesting or important. Now, that's according to the Oxford Online Dictionary. But did you know that there are, as I stated before, different types of attention? Well, in case you didn't, there is negative attention, no attention, and positive attention. So ask yourself, what type of attention are you portraying? What do you think, Anastasia?
I found it so interesting that there were 3 types. I I was very familiar with the positive, familiar with the negative, definitely, but I was not familiar or exactly didn't have a title to the no attention. And so I found that one really interesting. I think that today's topic is going to be something that is necessary for the children to hear and understand also. I think that sometimes, even when they are doing things, they don't realize the outward appearance of what it is that they're doing. And so this one is not just for the adults, this one is not just for mentors and older persons that are working along with children. This one is actually for the children themselves. This one is for the youth themselves to get a better understanding of what it is that you are doing that is getting a particular reaction from the adults around you. Sometimes I really don't believe that our young people understand that a lot of things that they encounter are in response to what they're giving off. And I think that this topic today is going to be a great help with that.
Good. So our first one is going to be negative attention.
And I know that when you hear negative attention, you are particularly thinking about things that are going to get you some sort of disciplinary action behind it. And I know we've all been there, right? Examples include yelling, giving gestures, threats, and more for the old fashioned corporal punishment. Generally, negative attention is dispensed when a child engages in negative activities. However, negative attention is a reward. Think about it. When a child does something and you react harshly, they are still getting your attention and consuming your time. And so while we are thinking of the things like, um, we're more focused on the things like maybe when they are fighting, we're more thinking about when they are using bad language, when they are being insubordinate. Those are more of the direct things that young people, children will do to get that attention from you. And it would cause for negative attention to be your reaction and to be your response. But there are also some more subtle things that they can do, like when they are interrupting you a lot. They know they can see that you are in a conversation with another adult, and their choice at that time is to continuously interrupt you, interrupt you. It is going to get a negative response because you're not going to want to respond positively to that. And the end result is still that they are getting your attention. And that was the goal. Because you're going to stop your conversation with the adult that you were talking to, and you're going to focus your attention on them for whatever it is. They just want to show you a toy sometimes. Sometimes it's like, look at this. This is on the tablet. Look at this. Oh, he's wearing a red shirt. And what you are doing in the moment is important. It is what your attention should be on, and it's what you're focused on. But because that child wants your attention and they are willing to receive it negatively, because you're going to row.
Yeah.
Our word, row. What? Stop! You have to stop. You have to be quiet. I need you to sit. I'm in the middle of something. But the goal was still achieved. They were able to break your focus off of one thing and redirect it onto them. And so this can be in a more subtle way of crying or being dramatic. This can be asking a lot of questions. This can be incessant talking. They're not even talking directly to you. They just are at the side of the room talking and talking and talking. And they know that at some point you are going to stop what you're doing to redirect and focus on them and be like, what in the world are you doing, child? Please, like, give it a minute, take a break. Whatever it is, they know that eventually you're going to redirect to them. They do things like asking for help a lot. I know you wouldn't think of that one being a negative form, right? But it is, because when they're asking for help a lot, or it's exaggerated, it's most times things that they can do themselves. It's most times things that they have already done before. But because in that moment, and you may not even be particularly busy, you may be one of those Saturday mornings where you are laid out in bed a little bit longer because the week has been just extremely tiresome one. Or it may be that you are in the middle of studying something or whatever else. You may be in the middle of watching a TV show, but it may be something that helps you to unwind and to relax at the end of your week or at the end of your day. If it is still that time and in those moments that your child is trying to get your attention, and you see that one of their methods is asking for help a lot, those become teachable moments. Your response may initially be negative. Go and do it yourself. You can get it yourself. Why are you asking me to? You just did this yesterday. Why are you? Your initial response may want to be negative, but you can turn these type of things into teachable moments. Ask them, have a calm conversation. Well, weren't you able to do this for yourself yesterday? Yes? Okay. So, yesterday you were a big kid and today you're not a big kid? Or are you still a big kid? You are? Yeah? Because nobody really wants to be called a baby. Even at 5, they don't want to be called a baby anymore. They are already potty trained. They are possibly started school. They do not want to be called a baby anymore. They don't want that regression. For them, that would be negative. So use that as a moment to get them to engage in their own thought process that would help them to come to the conclusion that inevitably you want them to come to, which is, uh, okay, I didn't really have to bother with mom about this. I can go and do it myself. I really didn't have to bother with dad about this. I can do it myself. And then they will find other ways to get your attention. Now we're going to look at positive attention and we are going to look at no attention. But as for the negative attention, there are quite a few ways that we can turn it around. One, by not um, giving in to it being that negative initially. Try to take a step, try to take a breath. Just if you have to do the no attention for a little bit longer and compress, do that. But we're going to try not to lash out. We're going to try not to give that strong emotional response initially. And we are going to try to turn those opportunities at negative attention to teachable moments. That is the goal.
Great. Yes, I think it that negative attention can really get us in trouble with our children, especially as they get into those teen years and young adult years, because that negative attention will make them not want to come to you when they really need to. So uh, you don't want to react in a negative way. Those are those times, as you said, you got to take that breath. So you got to just stop, take a breath, and don't come back yelling or saying something negative. Just your thoughts have to be more positive. You have to take that and turn it around, because it is so essential not to be negative, because we want our young people to be able to feel comfortable coming to us when they have questions and concerns. So that's why we kind of stay in a safe space, because if they don't feel comfortable coming to us, then they're either going to internalize it, or they're going to go and get help, or go to someone where they can feel better, which may not be a good thing. So you gave us some good tips. So thank you for that. I want to just say quickly to those who may have joined later that we're talking about attention this morning and real talk. And I want to say good morning to Curly, Agnes, Sister Flowers, and Dan. Thank you all for tuning in. So I'm going to talk about no attention. There are three types of attention. Anastasia just told us about that negative attention, but I'm going to talk about just no attention. You just ignoring people. So ambivalence is another way of paying no attention to someone. Ignoring people and are showing no reactions, no emotions. They talking, are they doing something? You just are just doing whatever you're doing. You're looking at TV, reading the book, whatever. No emotions. That's not a cure-all. Adults can fend for themselves. However, children, and especially your children, deserve better. And think about it. When I just talk about no attention, a lot of times you are doing something else. So you are working, doing something that you want to do, whether it's having me time, but it's during a time when you need to be spending time with your child. So why is your drive so strong? Why do you work excessively? Why do you have multiple extracurricular activities? Is it only for you to make yourself better? Or are you doing these things so that you're bringing work home, working on it, but you're ignoring your children? Is it worth it? So where you're trying to do something to enhance the quality of life, are you actually making it worse? That's something to think about. Because at the end of the day, you can provide a mansion for your family. You can give your kids the car of their dreams, all the kicks and clothes that are the latest fleek. They can have lots of bread in their pockets and all types of drip. So they just got jewelry, the shoes, the clothes, everything. But if you aren't paying any attention to them, you might as well not be present at all. So what good is it for you to provide all of these things and you're not giving them any attention? You're just ignoring them. And I know I've said this before, but it reminds me, I just started binge watching, and I caught up with Bel Air. I had never watched that, and I could not believe, Carlton had been on drugs for like 3 years, and his family had no clue. He had a very expensive car, the best clothes. His room was probably big as my house, but they weren't paying him attention. They were doing those things that they thought would make him happy. But you have to pay attention. You cannot pay no attention. There are many young people that are suffering from the negative aspects of life. So they already have social issues that they're going up against. And then, that silence. So when they need you, they're not getting anything. Are you so far removed from what's going on in your house and with your child that you've missed the signs? So have you missed the signs that your son's grades have gone from a 4.0 to a 2.5 in the last 4 months? Have you not noticed that your son has lost 50 pounds? Not trying, just lost 50 pounds. Are you unaware that your child suddenly has extreme mood swings? They're all happy, playing with their siblings, gaming, doing different things. And the next moment you can call their name and they, what? I'm busy. Those are mood swings. But have you not noticed? Have you completely missed the fact that your son is all of a sudden wearing a platinum? I didn't say just any old thing, but a platinum grill. He has tons of drip and always seems to have a pocket full of bread. And we're not talking about 20s, we're talking about Benjamins. Are you just not paying any attention? Are you oblivious? Or do you think that by pretending you don't notice or you don't say anything, that all this will go away? because that does not seem like normal behavior. What's going on with your child? Are you not interested? Or I'm just gonna not pay any attention, no attention. It's all gonna all be good. They're just going through a growth spurt. No, I disagree. What is actually happening is you are digging a hole for your child. And when I say digging a hole, are you looking at me side eyed now and saying, how? Why? I'm not doing anything. Because when it all goes down, what are you going to do? You're going to be talking about your couldas, wouldas, shouldas. But it will be too late. They're getting kicked out of school. They've done some crime that they're going to have to do time for. Or it could be worse. And you're fooling yourself that you can be sending your child to an early grave if you're not paying attention to these signs that I just mentioned. So if you pretend you do not hear your stomach when those hungry growls are making noise, that doesn't make you less hungry, does it? You're still hungry, even though you're trying to ignore it. If you drive up to a building where you have worked for 10 years and you before you left home, you packed lunch, took that long drive, drove up to that building, that does not erase the fact that they displaced you. You don't even have a job. It's all in your mind. Let's say you go to Alaska and you weren't thinking about the weather there. It's summer, it's burning up, it's 3 digits where you live. You go, you have a t-shirt, shorts, no gloves. It's 10 degrees below. That's not going to keep you from getting frostbite or severe exposure just because you were oblivious and you didn't pay attention. Not taking preventive measures such as prostate exams, colonoscopies, mammograms, glucose tests, eye exams, etc., does not mean you are exempt from cancer, diabetes, glaucoma, cataracts, and more. So stop sitting by idly while the clock is ticking away. Open your eyes, open your ears, open your mouth, use your discernment, show your love. No attention is a lose-lose. Did you hear that? It's a lose-lose. It's not a win-lose. It's a lose-lose. You want your child to win in life and be successful as they strive to build their best lives. Do you agree, Anastasia? Or do you disagree?
Oh, I definitely agree. I I'm so thankful that you brought the point across that it is a lose-lose. You get to maybe keep a little bit more of your, I don't even want to say peace of mind, because your mind as a parent, your mind is still troubled when you don't know what's going on with your kid, but ignoring it doesn't help that either. It definitely does not help you with your peace. It does not help you with your pocket. It does not help you in any way to simply not pay attention or purposely ignore what's happening with your kid. So that does not help you. And then it does not help them because they're still looking for your attention. They're still looking for your approval or disapproval of what it is that they are doing. And so if they're not getting that, it's a loss for them also. I have never seen a greater example of a lose-lose situation than this. And I am thankful that one, mine are grown, but two, that we have created enough of a relationship that we're able at least to talk to each other. Generally, they're able to come to me with their questions and their thoughts and their concerns. And I'm sure that that is a goal for all parents, for you not to have to go through your child's diary in order to know what's going on with them, for you not to have to um, ask their friend why their mood has changed all of a sudden, or for you not to have to ask an aunt or uncle or some other external person outside of your home what's going on with your child that lives with you. And one of the ways that we can ensure that there is positive reinforcement given, that there is positive attention given, is by making sure that the dialogue is open and not just in speaking, but in hearing.
Mhm.
So when it comes to positive attention, this is the attention everyone loves. It includes verbal praise and affection. Think about when and how you use it. Dads love to give positive attention because generally this is a reaction to a kid doing the right thing. Even what seems like a little thing, a sly wink, telling your child you love them before bed, or even leaving a note encouraging them after a tough luck situation carries immense impact. Another example of kids looking for positive attention is, well, no, another way that we can ensure that we are giving positive attention is to make sure that we are focused on the process more than the outcome. There are going to be times where we know our kids worked hard on something. We know that they applied for something and didn't get it. We know that they were working on a project or they had a goal set. And there are times that they will fall a little bit short. Rather than giving a negative response, which would be, um, oh, you didn't get it. And you should have done this and you should have done that. Or if you had done this, it would have been better. If you had done that, you would have gotten what you were going for. Instead of focusing on the end result or the outcome, how about focusing on the process? Okay, I saw that you were putting a lot of hours into it. I saw that you gave up TV time in order to work on this. I saw that you were trying to meet deadlines and all those other things. But sometimes everything just does not go in your favor, even if you try your best at it. But the important thing is that you tried your best.
Mhm.
This is another way of making it teachable moments. We just need to be careful of what it is that we're teaching. So, in a negative response, um, we're plummeting them and making them feel bad about the end result not being what they planned for it to be. But for a positive attention and for a positive impact, we can focus more on the process that they went through or the process of what they were doing rather than the outcome. We can give positive attention by respecting their autonomy. I know that it has been an I don't want to say an older thing because I still do it with my kids now. No locked doors in my house. Like, yeah, I do not have to use that phrase. They don't lock doors, but there are times when they like having their privacy. And so just a simple gesture of respect is to knocking on the door before I come in, or talking through the door, saying something through the door before I come in. And respecting their personal autonomy is, their body, their space, those things. By respecting that, it, um, I would give this example. My godchild is 3 years old. Her mom does this thing called open parenting. I don't know. We have quite a few conversations about it or whatever. But in this instance, she was with her mom and her dad, and her dad just got home from work and he's like, "Oh, come here, give me a hug." And she's like, "No, daddy, not now." And he was offended. He's like, "Excuse me, What? You are 3 years old. You're supposed to be excited to see me right now, anyways. Come here. Come give me a hug. Come give me. No, Daddy, not right now. And when he asked again, she had to step in and she said, listen, the little girl told you no. If you give her a minute, or maybe if you change out of those work clothes, or whatever it is that is a hindrance in her mind that is keeping her from wanting to give you a hug in this moment, when that changes, she's going to come to you. It doesn't mean that she loves you any less. It doesn't mean that she is throwing you away. It doesn't mean that she's trying to be rude or disrespectful to you. It is her personal space. Her body is her personal space. And so she is within all right, at liberty and entirely encouraged to protect it from whomever it is. And so, as our parents, she's only 3. Now, thank God she ain't never done that to me, because I'm not sure. My feelings would be hurt too, because his were definitely crushed. But when he did go and take a shower and he came back to her and he's like, can I have a hug now? She's like, yes, Daddy. And everything was grits and gravy. It was awesome. But as they get older, this is also a lesson that they still need to have and they still need to hold on to. And so that's also a part of positive attention, positive reinforcement, when we are able to respect their space, which is their environment, inclusive of their body. We are teaching them also how to respect other people's space, privacy, body, all of it. And so that all it does is your positive responses to them gives them positive responses to other people. So another example is to speak positively to and about your team. Positive attention in that way is in speaking to, we're familiar with that one more, because we when you studies have shown that when you speak to a plant every day and you speak to the plant positively, it grows better, it grows stronger. And if it can work with a plant, it can double, triple for a child, for a human. So that positive reinforcement, that positive energy that you pour into them can only circulate, recycle, and come out as more positive energy. But I think that the key part of it in this conversation is the talk about your team. When we share these stories with Aunt Jackie, and when we are talking to the youth leader about them, and if the only stories that you are giving, or the only examples that are coming from what it is that they do are negative examples, then how do you expect for your team to feel about themselves? Because they're listening to or looking at the impression that you are giving to the outside community who does not know them, but these are still people that they have to interact with on a fairly regular basis. And so if your first impression, or if their first impression to this person is that they are a no-mannered child, they are disrespectful, they are doing all these horrible things, which in fact may be true. It's not to say that you are lying on your child. And Miss Deborah and I would definitely not encourage you to tell not truths. But but we do need to make sure that what we are giving to the world is something that we want them to hold on to. And so when it's just like a bad relationship, when you've got that relationship with your boyfriend, and If you go to your aunt, sister, cousin, friend, and when you're describing the relationship, you're telling them about how he cheated on you, how he hit you, how he this, how he that, and everything else. They are holding on to those feelings about him for you. Even when you guys do the couple counseling and he's no longer hitting you, y'all do the couples counseling and he finds out why it is he used to cheat and he doesn't do it anymore. You go through the counseling, he's not verbally abusing you anymore, all of that stuff, and it turns into a beautiful relationship. Your friend, aunt, sister, cousin, they're still holding on to the stories that you told 3 years ago about how he used to cheat and how the other girl came running up on you at work and she had pictures in her phone of those two together and whatever the situation is. They may sit back and be okay with him now, but they will never love him, embrace him, treat him the way that they would if they did not have that negative exposure initially. And that works even more when in the case of our kids. When we are talking about them to other people, not only is it giving them that impression to hold on to, that they may not be able to recover from, because if you're telling if you're telling the youth leader about how at 8 your kid stole some candy out of the store or stole the toy out of the store, when he comes to youth group and there's something that goes missing in youth group, they're looking at him first. It's natural response and it's natural reaction. Now, he may have or he may be 10 by now, and that's not his life anymore. You already crack him on his fingers a few times or something like that, and he understands that boundaries are important. Don't touch other people's things. That lesson may have been learned, but the impression that was given was still lasting. And that's one side of it. The other side of it is how it makes your kid feel, because it feels like something they can never get away from. It feels like something that they'll never be able to get past, no matter how much good stuff they do in between when I was 8 and I took the toy out of the store. Now that I'm 10, I've done so much good stuff in between then. But because something has gone missing in youth group, I am in a separate room away from everyone else being looked at and thought of as a thief. And so we also have to think about and consider the lasting effect of the way we talk about our children can have on them. And so what we're going to do is make sure that we are giving lots of teachable moments, that we are giving as much positive reinforcement, that we are giving as much positive attention as possible. And we are going to work on giving both rewards and giving punishments. We're not just going to focus on the negative things that they've done and hand out punishments like we're handing out Skittles. But we're also not going to only focus on the positive things that they're doing and ignore the negative stuff as if it doesn't exist and it's not happening. So let's try to make sure that we are finding that balance of giving rewards when they've done something positive and also passing out those punishments when they've done something negative. That is how they get their attention from us. We are responding to whatever it is that they're doing. A positive response from us is rewards. A negative response from us is punishment. Let's just be mindful of how it is we are dishing out both things.
Great. Thank you for that wonderful information, Anastasia. We all know we would prefer to have something done to us that's positive. So if someone is speaking to us or interacting with us, we want something that's positive. So, positive is good. So we have to make sure that we are doing those things that will help us to make cohesive relationships with parents and their children. And so being positive is one way to do that. And I love the story with your 3-year-old granddaughter, you know, and that was so true, because she has a right, just like everybody else, to say, you know, when it's comfortable for me to do whatever. So if I say no, no means no now, you know. So I think that was great that, you know, she had that capacity to do that. Um, and it should be okay. So people need to understand that and accept people where they are. But being all forms of what we talked about today, I think, are essential. So it is great to understand that negative attention is not good. No attention is just horrific. And if we are going to try to be in our young men's, young ladies' lives and train them to be the young man or young lady that God wants them to be, to help them to have high self-esteem, to love themselves, we need to be present when we're present. So when we are around them, we need to make sure that we are all in. They know that we're there, we're communicating with them, which means we're not just talking, we are listening. We are looking at the nonverbals, because those can be so key, as I mentioned about, you know, seeing what your child is doing. You know, they don't just join a game, excuse me, and there are no signs. You're probably going to see some paraphernalia, some colors that they like to wear, whatever. You start seeing all these grills and that you know you didn't pay for and they're expensive. They always got money that you haven't given them. They're not working. You need to look at all of that. So it's important that we know these 3 types of attention. And again, that's negative attention, no attention, and positive attention. So thank you, Peggy and Anita, for joining us. And if you missed the entire segment, you can go back. But I think this is some great information that was shared today. Thank you all for tuning in. Anastasia, do you have any closing remarks?
The only thing that I would want to add is to ensure that when we're thinking about the forms of attention that we are giving, we need to also keep in mind that we are teaching our kids how to respond to things. And so when they see that you are always responding to things negatively, that's learned behavior. When they see that you are always responding by giving no response or you just ignore everything, they learn to do that too. And when you learn to respond to things positively or look on the bright side of situations, that is also learned behavior. So let's just keep in mind that our responses are going to become our kids' responses in the future.
Okay. And where can everyone find you, Anastasia?
If you're looking for me, you can find me at my Facebook page or Instagram, Be Becoming. I am only a direct message away.
All right. Thank you so much. And please check out my website, www.buildyourbestlife.org. Check out our calendar of events. I'm getting wound up for our educational symposium that will start, I believe, the last day of July and flow into that first week of August. We already got some great speakers on deck and ready to go. So check out our calendar of events. Read the blog that comes out each Monday. Also check out my store, which shows the services that I offer, which is coaching, consultation, speaking, webinar speaking, and you can get your autographed copy of my book, Build Your Best Life. It's a great book. It's about your life, your actions, your credibility, and overcoming obstacles to build your best life. So go visit today, get your autographed copy. If you prefer the Kindle version, you can go on Amazon.com. But again, thank you all so much for tuning in, because you could have been doing anything else, but you decided to join us today, and we appreciate it. So I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe out there, but have fun doing what you like to do best. Remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan, it's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed, stay safe, and we look for you Tuesday for Reach Out, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And our speaker for Tuesday is going to be Dan Smith Jr., and our topic is Teach a Man to Fish. So you want to join us on Tuesday. But thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.